B-U-C-K-E-R-S, go Bucs!
Hola, it is the Spanish Pirates podcast. We are doing this in Madrid. It's Buck It Up. That's right. It's time for all of us to buck it up. My longtime friend and native Spaniard, Jaime Centanera.
Hello, everybody.
Long-suffering Buccaneers fan. Long-suffering.
It's been a long, long time. I
can take these off. It's
can.
nighttime. I don't know why I wore them, but
yeah, you hit it there, Tom. Definitely. It's been I've been a Buccaneer fan since probably 2001. So I got in the bandwagon and really hit it, right? Because they just won the Lombardi like the year after. But then, man, it's been a long road.
Wow. Kind of, I mean, let's be honest, the butt of a lot of jokes.
That's a good one. Yeah, the Succaneers, as they say in some places. No?
But you never lost hope, though. That's what
Never.
I love. Like, somehow you thought, somehow, some way.
Exactly. I mean, this is like a religion, isn't it? You just don't give up.
Well, I have a little rite of religious passage I'll bring in later. I'm not going to do it now. It's a little early. But, I've long admired you, and just a little background. So this is not just a couple guys who love sports and the NFL and the Buccaneers. That's true. But Jaime and I became friends when I learned that he was early in cancer recovery, cancer treatment. And
that's right.
It bonded us. Where my dad died of cancer, as you know, when I was very young, and my sister, I lost her to leukemia. And you, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you are. You're doing great. All of your tests every 6 months come back with flying colors.
Yeah, back at it.
And
I mean, it's really a horrible disease, and something that I mean, everybody knows it. It's touched every family almost, and unfortunately, it's something that it's good to come out of, obviously. And here we are now, and football is something that's not as important, but it is important to us, right?
No question. Our struggles give us this perspective, or your struggles, and I just, I've known it my life, but it gives us great perspective, but it also allows us to celebrate what is worth celebrating. And let's be honest, January, for me, I'll be honest, I'm a longtime Patriot fan. I followed Brady to Tampa.
We welcomed you to the ship, right?
Yes, the journey and the destination. Yeah,
and you came in and went all in, really, right?
And we talked about this. You remember last December, I said, if he leaves, that's the best roster.
It is. It was a very good, and he chose it. He chose it for a reason. Yep. He saw that there was a lot of potential, that a lot of good players, had two Pro Bowl receivers, and look what happened, right? The defense also, they are good players. It's been up and down.
And an offensive line, I think that's always crucial to him, and the O-line. He's and you're new to January football for me, being a Patriot fan. This is but for you, it's
new to the dance, right? I'm new to the dance. I'm the new guy, and it's really exciting. And we really need to give props to Jason Light, the general manager.
Absolutely,
he created.
He should be the executive of the year.
No,
I don't know if he'll get it, but.
I don't think, for some reason, he'll get it. But, I mean, just look at all the moves, free agency, obviously, right. Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, AB. I mean, look at all those players. The draft, I mean, he really hit the draft.
He killed it. Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, two rookies playing all the snaps, basically.
And at the same time.
And safety.
Wirfs has been awesome. And, Winfield. That kid, he really solidified the comeback. We'll get to in NOLA, but the thing I love, and you pointed this out to me, I think last week, that they are salary cap friendly for next season. The Saints, we're about to go to New Orleans here. The Saints are cooked, but Light and BA, they have space like that. Jambalaya.
Yeah. I thought you were going like Jared Cook, because.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, it gives me.
I wasn't that
me
smart.
A little pleasure to, to see the rival. They got our number for so long, right? They've been beating us. I think it was 5 games straight.
And talking about it, and talking about it throughout
they like to talk about it and rub it in our faces for sure. So it was very sweet. So we can jump into last week's game.
What was your biggest takeaway? I mean, we're watching the game and we're WhatsApping back and forth, and our range of emotions are all over the place. But as you had a chance to take a step back and exhale after a couple of days of adrenaline rush, what were your takeaways from that
absolutely.
win?
I mean, look, the game was a tall order, right? We saw it as this big nemesis that you play against. They beat us twice during the season. Looked like they really had our number. But it's just a different team, right? The Buccaneers, they just went, they peaked at the right time, as many times as they use that phrase. But I mean, everybody was pumped up. Defense played amazing. Got all those turnovers, and very importantly, even as much important as getting those turnovers is converting those into points, and many of them into touchdowns.
Yeah, so 3 of them directly to touchdowns, short fields. And, lately, Brady and the Bucs offense hasn't been quite as awesome in the red zone, but they were there. They took the short field, punched it in for 7, which in that game was the difference. I was concerned when Breeze came out of halftime and went right down through a beautiful ball, beat good coverage for a touchdown. But then they came right back.
13-20, they were up. Yeah.
Yep. 20-13, we say in the U.S. 20 to.
Yeah. You're right, I guess. Anyway, 20-13. It looked a little green back then, right? Our confidence was a bit shaky, but we
were pissed. We were pissed.
Yeah, I mean, and the first touchdown was that trick play that they stole from Chicago,
and that hurt especially, didn't it? That little,
famous Jamie's, right, with his only touchdown of the season came up big. Yeah. He was pumped.
Yeah.
It was a good play. Defense was like nowhere near check one.
4 guys chasing Kamara.
Yeah.
And I think that CD, I think Carlton Davis had that quadrant of the field, but there was nobody near the guy. Yeah.
But takeaway is it's a complete team effort, right? I think the team came together. Huge energy. Devin White coming back was huge. Oh. You can see it. I mean,
it was all over the field.
I mean, it's not news to us because we've been watching it. I've been watching it for 2 years. So you can see the guy has potential. The one knock on him that you could have prior to this game probably was his pass coverage. He's not as good at pass coverage. But he came up with that interception.
He was pretty good. And I like the fact that they didn't and I think obviously we all know Breeze, what he's been through, a heroic season physically. He couldn't get the ball down the field. And I think after a while they figured it out. Todd Bowles, dialed up some better coverage. They were tighter because we've seen games where Rams game and many others, Washington, where, the defense gives up a lot. They win, not the Rams, but you wonder what they're doing sometimes. And we'll get to the challenge facing them in Green Bay, but
it's a different animal.
Yeah. And then, I just love the way they ran the football. 35 rushes. I think some of those were kneel downs at the end, but there were 30-something
they basically
legitimate
split
rushes.
The carries almost between Fournette and Rojo. They both had like 62, 63 yards each.
And Rojo came in, and I know he wasn't 100%, but he gave him some big, like those chunk plays in the run game. One was called back.
That call play back,
which led to the greatest catch of the season, and we've seen a bunch of great ones, but the guy you've been telling me about all year,
Tyler Johnson, guy from Minnesota.
Yeah,
the guy has
used to playing.
He's used to playing in the cold, so he might be an important guy coming up in Lambeau if Antonio Brown doesn't play, which he's in doubt, but I think he'll play.
A little bit, yeah.
But coming back to that play, I mean, amazing. It was a 3rd and 8, I believe.
3rd and 11, it was a huge play.
Right, huge play.
And then he comes right back to your other guy.
Scooter, he comes in, he motions to the right, and he just ukes the corner, completely burns it, just catches it. Fantastic throw by Brady.
Got it in before the safety came over. It was a nice drop in, and then again they lead it in, and then Brady punches it in.
They didn't score the touchdown there.
No, they took the lead.
They took the 23-20, a lead that they never relinquished.
No. And then later, I think it's the White interception off of the breakdown between Kamara and Breeze.
Devin White, he gets the ball and he just turns into a running back. Complete violence.
Love that. And Brady sneaks it in. It was interesting. The last score was the same as the first Saints Bucs score in New Orleans at the beginning of the season. Remember, Brady let him right down, snuck it in. Interesting. And then he tried to high five the ref, and that didn't end well. And then, of course, the post game, just that image of the two greats, Brady and Breeze, on the field with Breeze's kids, and
just a great image.
And
a great touchdown there at the corner of the end zone to Breeze's son, right?
There was some press coverage by the other son, I think.
Yeah, he got burned.
But really, a salute to Breeze, great career. But now,
enjoy retirement. We've had enough of you in the NFC South for sure.
Right. And it's Jameis's team, so that's okay with me.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see.
But let's not talk about them, and let's talk now for what's coming up. In a few days. This is a NFC Championship game. The two best teams standing in the NFC.
Yep.
What do you see here?
Wow. That's a handful. I see, I guess, you said the two best teams, 5th seed, top seed. I think everybody knew that the Bucs are a little better than the 5th seed, and they won 6 in a row. They won 7 straight road games, franchise record. Brady's won 11 playoff road games. That's a NFL record. I don't think going on the road matters. And again, there'll be fans in Lambeau, but not, they played in New Orleans with really nobody, and there'll be not a lot of people in Lambeau. I see a tight game.
At this point, having people, at least a few people in the stands, is good for both teams.
Absolutely. I think, I love this because each team is going to do some things differently. And if I forget the 38-10 blowout, the only thing, and we've talked about this, the only thing that can endure, they hit Rodgers early and often. They didn't sack him that much early. They got him later, but they hit him a lot.
Yeah, I remember we watched that game together, actually. And you were saying, even though the Packers went up 10-0, but they were getting to Rodgers quite a lot. And that's going to be one of the keys, isn't it?
To get to him, no question. And I think the counter move from Matt LaFleur is to see what hurt the Bucs. Like Jared Goff, who didn't have a great year, he looked like Montana that night against the Bucs. I mean,
and it's those intermediate throws, like
it's quick
10,
throws,
15 yards.
Right. And that's the area that I think the Bucs struggle in. If they play that kind of two deep zone, there's openings, and if they go man, it opens up, because obviously Rodgers is not Breeze and he's not Goff. He can hit you from anywhere on the field. So I think, and they're running the ball well, and this is where, it'll be a test of the Bucs defense. Where exactly are they? I think it's going to be a high scoring game because I don't really see, I think, Green Bay is going to be jacked up. They're at home. For Rodgers, this is huge. And they're as comfortable.
Championship game at home.
Yeah, and they're very comfortable with how they're going, and the Buccaneers are as confident as anybody on offense. Brady has so many weapons. I just think it's going to be in the high 20s, 30s, depending on the weather. I don't think the cold will matter how much it snows. Not supposed to snow that much, but it's gonna. I mean, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be right here.
I mean, for the Bucs, obviously. First thing in the menu is protect Brady, isn't it? I mean, offensive line, even though with the loss of Kappa, Aaron Stinney came up. Another props to Jason Light. He found this guy last year, and look at that. He played a fantastic game last year. The whole line is playing amazing with a lot of force and violence, right? They're opening holes for the running game, and they're protecting Brady for the passing game. So I think obviously that's a key to the game. So if we can, I don't know, right? Because the game against the Saints, they didn't pass as much. First downs, they run. I think the majority of the first downs they were running the ball, which they weren't doing the last few games at the end of the season. So we don't know what we're going to get really, right? I think that they'll try to establish the run and then go to play action where Brady it's a killer, right?
I think guys like, one of your favorite players, Cameron Brate, and then I think out of the backfield, and then I think some of the crossing. I mean, the main guys, the Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and AB, if he's out there, they're going to get attention. But I think with Brady, if you give him a little bit of time, and I think his ability, obviously, to read the defense, he's gone up against Mike Pettin, the defensive coordinator, many, many times. And
that's a good point.
Like Mike Evans said the other day, Brady's playing chess. And just the question is, on the plays in question, does he have enough time? And I think the line has done a good job. And I don't think Green Bay's D-line is nearly as stout or as physical as the Saints.
It's not, obviously. And, they totally dominated the Saints defensive line last week. So if they can do, that similar job against, they have good players. Of Zadarian Smith with 12.5 sacks. Everybody knows him. Rashawn Gary, look at that guy, Michigan guy. So they got players, obviously, but I don't think it stacks up with the Buccaneers offensive line.
I think
they're playing. As
always, the fast start, it's if the Bucs fall down 7-0 or 14-3 or something, then I think BA and his natural tendency is it's going to be hard to stick with the run game. We've talked about it a lot of times. I'm texting you saying, run the football. And I think they've bought into that. And I think if you play from ahead, it just gives you so many more cards to deal.
And you've talked about this many times, not only running, but those short passes,
short passes. I kept saying, where's James White when you need him?
Exactly. So Leonard Fournette has become sort of that guy now. He caught, I think, 4 or 4 passes or 5 passes last week.
Yeah.
So he's he kind of juggled that one there at the goal line.
No review. No, I did not want to see it again.
He got it. No problem. But it gives you a little bit of but he's catching the ball, he's running the ball, he's doing everything. Playoff Lenny, they call it, right? So and you hit it also there with not getting behind, because this is one of the stats that I wanted to give you. Shout out to.
Is this the one you said that you had? You're going to hold. You wouldn't tell me for the last couple. You wouldn't tell me.
I got this from Sharp. Sharp Football, at Sharp Football, he said this one is amazing. So when Aaron Rodgers has a lead at halftime at Lambeau Field, he has won 70 games and lost 1. So he's 71-1. So he drew 1 as well. So, but that's mind blowing.
But what if he's losing at halftime?
That's another story, isn't it? But remember, there was a very similar stat when we played the Rams.
Yep.
And it was when the Rams
they're leading at halftime.
It's over. They've won every game.
Yeah.
So it's important, right? To last week we got the tie right at the end of the half.
Yep.
To go.
That was huge.
2020. Yep. That was important. So if we're in the game, anything can happen third, fourth quarter, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's you blunt the advantage of home, and the cold weather. I just don't buy it. If that, and I said this to you earlier today. If it comes down to somebody being too cold or uncomfortable, then maybe you're not the best team. And I don't think that's going to be an issue. Now it may contribute to turnovers, which we haven't discussed that because that's the most obvious. That is like Admiral obvious. That's Admiral obvious. It's not even captain.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the turnovers in the end, they generally tell a very direct story with a result.
Right.
So
right. So now, if you don't mind, I'm going to transition to, the marquee matchup. They don't play each other, but it's going to be. It is all about. Has been all about. It'll be judged all about. The greatest regular season quarterback ever, Aaron Rodgers, against the greatest quarterback of all time. And, I think there's no way that it won't come down to one of those two making a great play. And I just don't know really.
Here we go. Finally, I was.
What's that?
I mean, of course. I mean, these two guys.
Was that on your end?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should look behind you.
We have no barnyard animals in our flat here in Madrid. I know that.
Anyway, I mean, for sure. I mean, last week we had this clash of titans, right? Brady and Breeze. Yep. This week we had even a bigger one.
It was a diminished Breeze, though, and I think we found that out as the game went on. 11 cracked ribs and a punctured lung, and he came back. And
yeah,
but now this is Rodgers at his best.
Exactly, and at home,
48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, he did have less yards than Brady this season.
I was going to say, I thought I was going to stump you. I was going to say who led the NFC in passing yards. The guy who supposedly couldn't throw it downfield.
He was Tom Brady. He was third in the NFL, only behind Deshaun Watson, who had a very good year statistically, but no wins. And Mahomes, of course. You have to go down to the seventh to find Aaron Rodgers, who, he did have 48 touchdowns, but, Brady could have had more. He had drops. He had.
He didn't play the second half in Detroit.
Exactly. So, but
that's a very weak stat. But I pulled it out.
I think everybody is pulling that weight of the touchdowns in order to give Aaron Rodgers the MVP, which.
Well, he is. He is the MVP.
But
no question, based on the numbers, and his team was the top seed. I mean, if the situation's reversed, it's Brady. If they're 12 and whatever they were, 13-3, or.
But I have to say, Brady. How valuable is Brady to this team? He completely changed the franchise. Completely. Yeah. So and I'm not saying he wins, but he must get consideration.
Right. No, of course. And what's interesting is, when I came aboard, we talked about this, and when he went there, I was happy because I knew, I don't know what we all the talk about New England and Belichick and all that. I think it came down to if you look at the rosters, he's not an idiot, and he's got 1, 2, 3 years left. He doesn't want to be watching in January, and the
biggest
roster.
Hurdle for him coming into Tampa Bay was to change the culture.
Yeah,
Book of Brazilians. He started the year before, and he started that change. I think he instilled a winning mentality, and
and
he's done a really good job. But Tom Brady just absolutely required a different standard.
Right. Well, it's an expectation of playing in January, even though he doesn't talk about anything but next week. And it's the first guy in. He's studying tape. He's all business. He has, he's a very approachable guy. That's the thing I love about him over his career is all that stuff about, superstar and supermodel wife and dream life. But they say he's the best teammate. Mm-hmm. And that's
everybody looks up to him, and he's got the most street cred of any player in the league.
Yeah,
by far.
And also, I want to tip, props to the ownership of the Bucs and BA and Jason Light. I mean, they have the most diverse coaching staff. I mean, they are a model in the NFL for diversity, when the NFL sometimes
and it's always been like
so
that.
Much.
With Tony Dungy coming in '97,
and Raheem Morris, right?
The whole branch from Dungy, right? From Mike Tomlin, a lot of players, Lovie Smith, who then came back to the Bucs. Unfortunately, that was a dark time.
Oh well.
But anyway, for sure. And
so,
now we have Byron
and
Leftwich, who's doing a very good job. I mean, he's giving the kids to Tom Brady, right? He's younger than his quarterback.
Well, I love. Did you heard the Brady mic'd up on the Bucs on Bucs.com after the Saints game, or maybe it was a Washington game? He came over to the sideline. He goes, "Hey, tell me what you want. You're on fire." Well, he dropped an F-bomb, but he said, "You're on fire. Yeah. I don't care. Tell me what you want. We're running it. It's working."
I don't care. Whatever you want. You're hot, baby. You're hot as you feel it. I'm gonna hit that.
Arians has a lot of faith in Leftwich. And best offense in history of the franchise. So can't complain much about that.
On my list of things we won't talk about next, we're not talking about it. One win from first ever team playing Super Bowl in their home stadium, hometown. We're not
talking about that. And even the players, they're training. They're looking at the stadium, which is so
big sign
with the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
It's like, wait a second. A couple of weeks we'll be here. But
Yeah.
as Arian said, you'll be thinking about that, and you'll be making your luggage on Monday.
Yeah,
because you're going home.
So last thing.
So I want to say only for
No, go ahead.
In terms of just to finish up with Brady and Rodgers, I think the pressure is on Rodgers much more than
so.
it is on Brady.
Yeah.
Because
Brady's already taken them to almost the promised land for this first year with all they've had to overcome and figuring out the offense. And he's already, I mean, getting to the championship game. There's not much, but that's not how Tom thinks.
No,
he doesn't think like, oh, he wants to play next 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Yep.
Doesn't want to ever stop
in
playing.
2 years.
Right. Final numbers for you. Brady 32-11 in the postseason. 6 Super Bowls.
That's pretty good.
Aaron Rodgers 11-8.
So,
again, people will say Belichick was different, more talent. I'll argue to the all the way down the wire that a lot of years Brady didn't have that much talent and they won.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
That's one of the things, right? I mean, the last couple of games, we haven't really. I mean, last game, Mike Evans 1 catch, 1 touchdown. I mean, he's got to have more, definitely. And,
well, the problem is
about Chris Godwin as well. He's been dropping a few passes, difficult ones, but the ones that he normally has. So I also expect the big game from him.
Yeah, and I hope AB can go. Yeah, well, Gronk. Gronk's done a great job because they keep him in, and he's a great pass blocker and run blocker. And every once in a while he'll run a pass. He'll run out of pass and in the pattern. But I'm interested to see what AB can do.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I was watching one play the other day. It was the Tom Brady sneak. Gronkowski was not blocking. He went and ran a route. Really? In that play, he didn't block. He
took a guy away. Yeah.
And he took a guy away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I expect a big game also from Gronk. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope. And again, I think it's going to be high scoring, and we've reached the end of the program. Our first and hopefully not last Spanish Pirates podcast, Bucket Up. Tom and Jaime with you in Madrid. Just diehard Buccaneers fans a long way away from from. I was gonna. Oh, there you go. Very good. Mine's back there. You see.
Yeah.
Back there. So picks.
Picks. I mean, I'm obviously going Bucs. They're going to win it. I think they'll score 40. They will score 40 points, I think. So I'm going to go. Yep. I'm going to go 40.
You're going
40-33.
40-33. Is it a last-minute drive?
I think the defense will finish it.
Okay. Wow. I said high scoring. I don't know. I think we haven't mentioned Ryan Suckup. You've had kicking problems are the same as they're as familiar as the logo with the pirate and the knife in his mouth. But he's been awesome.
Welcome, Bruce. Yeah, I mean, I had him here. I didn't want to bring it up. Maybe I didn't want to jinx him, I guess. or I didn't want to end up with a kicker. But I mean, he needs to be. And actually, I had one question for you, which was, do you know who's the regular season leader in points for the Buccaneers? It's Ryan Suckup. He's got 136 points. And he was an unbelievable pickup.
Yeah. And, they don't ask him to kick a lot of 53, 55s, but from 40 in, he's nails. And every once in a while, when they need him, he kicks a long one too. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, the wind and the cold, what that does. But so I'm thinking 2 field goals and I'm thinking 4 touchdowns. So 34-30.
Okay. Not 34-30. I think I'm accounting for a pick 6 maybe.
I know you are. You're pick 6. That would hurt A-Rod. But so 40-33 and 34-30. And if that's the case,
I think that defense is coming up real hot right now. And I hope those are not my famous last
Packers
words.
Run game concerns me, especially at home. There's extra juice. And the line is not awful. They're missing David Bakhtiari. I think that's his first name. He's David a stud. He's out.
It's Billy Turner. Is backing up.
Yeah,
him. He's doing
they're good. I just think, all year long, we know that the Bucs have been very stingy against the run. But, it's a whole different thing.
With La Vita Loca coming back, also that's a big
plus.
La Vita Loca.
Vita Vea. That was my line.
Yeah, I stole it from you.
You just ripped me off just like that.
Time is running up, and I took it from you.
You did.
I think those guys
Vita Vea. The fact that that's a complete shock. If he gives him 15 snaps, he's quick, he's strong, gives him a breather, throws some people around.
Yeah,
it's good.
He can be good against the pass, and he can definitely be good against the run. Bucs defense number one against the rush, no question. During the season, I think that they can do a very good job containing the running game. Another job is getting to Rodgers, because this guy can move around for sure.
Even if you don't sack him, just make him uncomfortable, because we saw he was frustrated getting hit.
We need those guys on the edges coming
to
get him.
Yeah.
We need Barrett. We need JPP to be on their game.
Yeah, Shaq. I need him to be active again. He has been a little. He's been a little AWOL. Let's be honest.
Yep. I mean, I got to give it to you that they haven't had a sack since the game against Minnesota. So that's concerning. So, well, you could see it also possibly at some point it's going to come, right?
Yeah. So we haven't really had to count on any divine intervention, even against the Saints. But as you know, I got this for Christmas, and it's a candle. And I don't anticipate having to light it because it crosses some boundaries here. But
what's it got?
What is it?
What's it got there? Who's that? Oh, okay. So Saint Goat.
I don't really want to light it. And at what point do I? You're going to be here with me.
So that's going to be a secret weapon, I hope. And that's going to be the only saint, because these guys have a same Equinemius, same Brown, isn't it?
Oh, yes. That's very good. Yeah. And then there's Valdez Scantling. I'll just go with the hyphenated last name.
Yes. So.
And then Adams is a beast.
I'm scared of that dude. 18 touchdowns he's got. So
yeah. He's.
I don't know if Carlton Davis is going to follow him around or what are they going to do, but obviously he has to be the main.
I hope he's not chasing him. Following him is okay. I hope he's not chasing, not so much. But I hope we don't have to go to the intervention of the candle. We will be here Sunday night. This is the beauty for everybody out there who doesn't know. Madrid is 6 hours ahead of Eastern, so we're watching games way late. But 3 p.m. in Green Bay, 9 p.m. here in Madrid.
That's a pretty good time.
This place is going to be rocking. Time. You'll be here. We're trying to get a Frenchman over here, another friend of ours.
Yeah, we'll try to get our main researcher, Vianney Drill.
Yep.
It's always fun to be around, and he's been getting into the American football lately, right?
Yes.
So big shout out to him, and hopefully we'll see him on Sunday.
Well, I hope we do that. If they win, of course, it means we're back for 2 more weeks. We already have a committed great guest coming, a member of the Tampa Bay Bucs. He's a beat writer, and he couldn't do it this week, but he's all in for next week. If they win, we'll have 2 weeks, and that'll be a lot of fun. But again, did I break the?
Well, let's look. I'm confident. I'm more confident in this game than I was against the Saints.
I am too.
Whatever that's worth.
I told you, if they win in NOLA,
that was like that game.
But
they get over that.
I told you this. Is my concern is that the game they were pointing to all year? They got it, and now they got to go over here and play another really good team that's playing well.
Yeah. I hope that's not the case, but I hope that served for the players that I think they know that now they belong, and they're going to go full with confidence. But, the leadership is there, and they're not going to be overlooking anybody.
That's a great way to end it. Our Spanish Pirates podcast. Buck it up. Buck it up.
And our team will do it, right? They will buck it up for us.
Yes.
They will buck us up.
Absolutely. And I say to you, Vaya con Dios, and it's good to see you. Well done.
See you too.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. Looking forward to it. And go Bucs.
Yeah, absolutely. The Scurvy Pirates prepared to board.
We'll be back for more.